gentlemen, welcome to Walking with J.Beau. Once again, we are going for a walk tonight. It's been raining all day, steady, and even just 20 minutes ago, or a half hour ago, it was still drizzling, but it let up. And we're going to have another batch of rain coming in to mess up another day tomorrow. So I'm going to go for this walk. I only need about an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes. We may get rained on, but the radar says we won't. But a lot of times the radar doesn't pick up things like drizzle. So we'll see what happens, folks. I was not intending on walking tonight at all, because I figured it was going to be pouring rain. So we will make an attempt. It's 54 degrees, but it is 54 warm degrees, meaning there's a little bit of tropical humidity in the air, albeit not tropical, but more than we usually get. So I'm probably overdressed with a long sleeve, a t-shirt on that, and then I have a fleece-lined hoodie on top of that, my Jeff Beck hoodie, official Jeff Beck hoodie from the official Jeff Beck website. Good news is I used to be too fat to put this on, and now it fits. So I'm also wearing a pair of jeans tonight, which 4 years ago I could barely get over my thighs, let alone trying to button the front of them without holding my breath, and I still couldn't do it. So now they fit loose and I have to wear a belt. So there's these little rewards you get from doing what I'm doing and why I do it. So tonight I'm gonna walk a more lit city route, but I do, so we can hear the frogs. Frogs are going crazy. It's fornicating season for frogs, and they're going to make a whole bunch of pollywogs. So we're going to go check up on our orphaned duck, which I was happy to find out since my last walk that an adolescent duck should survive just fine on its own. All it has acquired at that point from its mother is what is edible and what isn't. So the duck also doesn't have a deep conscience like people do. So while it is a tragedy, it had to watch its mother get squooshed, and it was waiting across the road for Mama, who wasn't going to be coming. I felt really terrible. It really affected me last night, because it was a baby that needed its mama. And my mother died when I was in my 20s. So I kind of know how that duck felt. It was not an enjoyable experience. Not at all. So I'm gonna go walk by there and see if we see the duck. Probably not. We'll see the dead one. Then we're gonna go on our walk. Hope you had a beautiful Saturday today. We do have more rain tomorrow. It's going to ruin our backup range day. Was tomorrow. Got a whole bunch of ammo to go waste. And it looks like it's going to rain tomorrow too. And a lot of people say, why don't you just go shoot if it's not raining too hard? Because we bring a lot of firearms, for one thing, different ones. The other thing is, you know, if it's misting out and it's not raining hard, the water gets everywhere on your gun, everywhere. You have to disassemble the gun, take it apart before the water dries, because it'll make rust spots and pitting. And I don't have a whole weekend to waste cleaning firearms. That's why. We did that a couple of times, and every single time I ended up with something that got rust. And I'm just not going to do it. One was my Henry lever action. The lever on it, handle, had a little bit of water that I missed, just a little bit. I ended up having to spend about 20 minutes buffing it out, coating it with oil again. And you know, every time you do that, it damages the bluing. So if we don't have to shoot in the rain, I'm not going to. That's it. That's it, that's all. Now, we do have stainless steel firearms, but not enough to go around to even make it worth going. Maybe we're spoiled, but I don't want to go shooting with just 2, maybe 3 firearms. I know, first world problems, right? But I guess you understand what I'm saying. Plus, you're always wondering if it's going to rain. You can't leave your stuff out on the table that we bring. You see where I'm going with this? You know, you gotta go back and forth, put everything back in the truck and the cab. You gotta move something to put it underneath because you're limited with space to begin with. And it's just a hassle. So, we're just not gonna go if it's moisture. That's all. And the other question I'll get asked is, well, why don't you go to an indoor range? Yeah, they have those. A couple of them we've been to. One I can think of is the Top Gun one in Poland, which is the one Tucker Carlson stops in sometimes, or at least a couple times. Susan Collins goes in there with her campaigning. You get pictures taken in a gun store, so Republicans vote for a rhino. Look, I'm in a gun store. It means I'm a Republican. Basically what that means. So, all right, I'm going to switch. I'm going to switch the camera around. We'll do a selfie view. Hi, everybody. Hi, it's me, smiling J.Beau. that little brook here that those ducks would use. It goes up all through the woods, up across the road, under the road. And I know that's where Mama was teaching that little duck where to eat. So I'm hoping I see it. It's at nighttime though, so maybe not. Even though the duck got smooshed last night. Mama duck. I would assume the baby duck has gone by now, I hope. If it's still hanging around waiting for Mama, I'm gonna cry. I swear to God I will. So I'm gonna head down this way. We're almost to where that duck got run over last night. Boy, did I feel so terrible. Felt just horrible. I mean, we saw that deer that got run over too. Got hit by a car, had its whole rear quarter ripped off, whole leg and everything. Dead, obviously. But, all right, here it is. All right, here's the dead duck. And look, that's what nature does. You see that duck there? There's a whole bunch of feathers. And what happened is predators were eating the dead bird, probably crows, things like that. So last night when I picked it up by its neck and moved it there from in the road, it was still warm. You could feel the body heat, like the duck hadn't died that long ago. So there it is. And I picked the duck up out of the road and moved it here. So the little baby duck, which wasn't a baby anymore, it was an adolescent. I looked it up online. Clearly it was almost full grown. And it was right here. So this is where that happens. You know, it's really unfortunate. But that little baby duck, which isn't a baby duck, will mature soon. Wasn't that old. And it will go out and be a duck, like it's supposed to. So I guess that makes me feel good. The little baby duck, who's not a baby duck, I just called it a little baby duck because I'm empathetic, has taken off to go eat somewhere, presumably. Last night was a depressing walk, I have to admit. I really didn't expect that. It was misting out. It was kind of a miserable walk, to be honest with you. Of sorts. Never miserable conversing with you guys, though. I'm just saying I could have done without seeing a dead duck and an orphaned duck. So we're gonna get at least 5 miles in tonight. I don't want to push it too long with regard to rain. So hope everybody's doing okay. Hope life is good. Everybody's going to come out of the damn woodwork here. Pipes. Works Park and Shop. They have a deli in here, meat counter. They have really good pizza packages too. So, cool store. They have an American flag hanging inside, so that's awesome. So I'm going to get my miles in regardless. I'm going to feel like I overdressed, I know it. I just know it. That's all right. Loud cars tonight. Fire truck. We have a fire to watch tonight. We might go check that out. And here are other fire trucks. I see police lights up ahead. Oh, looks like they're slowing down by the hospital, which we'll be walking by actually. So we'll see. And now I'm not seeing flashing lights. But we're going to be walking by the hospital anyways. So, I was watching some of Pope Francis's funeral coverage. And the Pope had a big send-off. Really amazing. The ceremony. Send off the Pope. They had a beautiful day. It was sunny, beautiful clouds. It looked just like if somebody had made a painting way back when of the Vatican and they painted some pretty clouds. It looked just like that for real. Because you always wonder those things, you know, they see these beautiful paintings in these places and you're always like, now does it really look like that, or did the artist take liberty and make it look like that? Well, maybe some of that's true, but for what I saw on video today, wow, it was beautiful. I also saw where Zelensky was at the Pope's funeral. So was Macron of France. And it looked like Zelensky was chumming around with Macron. So Trump actually pulled Zelensky aside into a side room and pulled up 2 chairs, and they were going to have a discussion, and the cameras weren't allowed. It's a private discussion. And Trump actually scooted Macron out of the room, you know, like, get out of here. We're going to have a talk, just Zelensky and myself. So I don't know what was said, but Macron wanted to be running his mouth in there, and Trump didn't want him there. Shoot him away. It was awesome. So, you know, we need to find an end to this war. And I really think the problem right now is Putin's not going to give up what he's taken. And Zelensky wants Russia out of Ukraine entirely. But he needs to realize the situation he's in. As Trump says, he doesn't hold the cards. And he is going to be learning a lesson the hard way, because when you don't hold the cards, you really don't have much say in anything other than we're not going to have peace. And if his goal is to have Russia out of Ukraine entirely, or there's no peace deal, then Russia is going to end up with all of Ukraine. And I'll tell you why. I don't think any European country is willing to put boots on the ground and fight a World War III against Russia. I also don't think they have very much gumption for the United States to do with that either, especially after Afghanistan and all these other wars we've had. And Trump was running as a not our war, America first. So I would be hard-pressed to believe that there is going to be any kind of ground conflict in Ukraine without the United States. So I just really think that's the way it is, the more I've thought about it. And Zelensky is going to have to decide Zelensky's going to have to decide if he's going to keep most of Ukraine or lose all of it. Basically, Russia has the resources to fight this thing out at great cost, but they have the resources to do it. We can't afford to keep paying this, neither can Europe. And it's just a matter of time. The Europeans and the United States are going to have to tell Zelensky, look, you know, and that's why, you know, Trump was talking about, if it looks like there's not going to be peace, we're just going to throw our hands up and walk away from it. And a lot of people are like, what do you mean by walk away? We're not going to give weapons to Ukraine? And Trump was like, well, I don't know. We'll see. So I think Trump probably told, I'm just guessing, I think Trump probably told Zelensky today, look, our patience is gone. You either come to the table and talk peace, or you're on your own. That would be the smart thing for him to do. Zelensky might be too stupid to take it, or under too much pressure from the EU. But again, that's not our problem. So, you know, it's getting to a point now where this is just unsustainable for everybody. It's not practical for Ukraine. Russia is losing a lot. Russia is losing a lot in this. And I'm not here to say whose side I'm on, whose fault. I think Zelensky is a jerk. I think Ukraine is a mistake. I think Russia's making a mistake. I think Putin's a jerk. Joe Biden's a jerk. Boris Johnson is a jerk. Emmanuel Macron is a jerk. All of these people have facilitated this war. The only one that wants peace apparently is Trump and us. So, you can't have peace if nobody wants it. That's just a fact. That's a fact, Jack. So light traffic tonight, Saturday night. Bad weather. I guess people are staying home. I'm sure there's nobody coming there. I don't want to get squooshed. I don't want to end up like that deer and lose half of my quarter on the rear end. COVID shots available, the sign says. Are you effing kidding me? Whew. Yeah, I'm getting warm now. Yep. Well, let's turn this around here. I don't want to see my face for the whole walk. Had a good night's sleep last night, so that's good. Needed that. Spent a good part of today listening to vinyl records, which is always enjoyable on the weekends, especially when we're not going shooting today, earlier. So it'll probably be more of the same tomorrow, including the rain. So we picked up shotgun shells, we picked up 9mm, we picked up 22s, we picked up 223 Remington Full Metal Jacket, and we picked up some 7.62 by 39 soft points and Full Metal Jacket. Yeah, don't stop or anything, a-hole. So we're gonna have plenty of stuff to shoot next time we go. Also got some 30-30s, 30 Winchester. Winchester, jeez, I don't know what the hell's going on with their ammo, but I'm telling you, lately Winchester ammo has been horrible. Crap. Inexcusable things like primers seated too deep in some casings, so you get a weak strike or a misfire. Happened in different firearms, so it's not specific to one firearm. Anyway, I remember in the past, you know, to buy a 300 or 500 round brick, 45 ACP or something, and Winchester red and white box, and it was awesome. Now, not so much. So I don't know what they're doing different, but they're doing something different. I don't know how you could be such a well-established company with all the knowledge they've had making ammo over the years, that they could still possibly mess it up. So it has to be cost cutting. Has to be. It's usually the culprit. Oh, my eyebrows are sweaty now. All right, actually right now it would feel good if it started raining. Funny that I say that, it just might. So we are up to 297 miles. Closer to 298 on the year so far. I think I have that number right. So tonight we should exceed 300 miles on the year already. So that's pretty cool, considering a lot of January we couldn't walk because it was too cold. Missed a lot in February as well because of snow and cold. Road work ahead. Well, we'll cut through here. Looks like they've been doing some work. That's why I want to see. Oh, look at this. Now, before we go down here, I have been coming here, right in front of us here, since I was little. Little League Baseball, Pal Baseball, we used to play here. I went to school over there and we played soccer and everything else out in that field. So I've spent a lot of time here in my lifetime, and look what they're doing. Oh, look at this. Oh, you actually can't see this. Let me shine a light on this. Oops, had my flashlight backwards. See that right here? They built a fence, a wood fence on top of simulated granite. It's like molded concrete is what it looks like, to look like. You know, that's unfortunate though, because I can tell you from experience of seeing this, that when the snow plows go by here and they plow the snow, they're going to plow all the snow there, which is going to have road salt, which is actually calcium chloride, and it's very horrible for poured concrete. Now, well, that looks like stones and bricks. That's actually molded. That's molded concrete. So that's not going to last long. They did that to save money, but it's going to require a lot of repairs. And if you look at the top of that, that's all concrete right there, I believe. The curb is, yep, it's poured molded concrete slabs. And now what's going to happen is that's going to deteriorate it, just like that chip that's missing right there. And that's going to slowly deteriorate, and then some kids are going to be walking up here and they're going to slip on a piece that broke off and they're going to get sued. Now, I don't know why I can tell stuff like that and they can't. So over here we get some better lighting, but I mean, look at that. That's looks nice. It really does, you know. And like I said, I used to play ball here, and a lot of memories here, good and bad. So remember one time when my mom first started having to be admitted in the hospital when she had kidney failure, a while before she finally passed away. But I was pretty young. I didn't really know how to deal with that, so I just came down to this field. I guess I was looking for something while she was in the hospital right over here. I came down in the field here, and it just felt comforting to be somewhere I'm familiar with, if that makes sense. So anyway, I can smell the wood in the fence. It's pine. So they used real pine board instead of pressure treated, probably because it costs less. Well, everything they did here, it looks like they did to look nice for a little while, but it's all cost cutting. So I don't know how well it's going to do over time. But I don't want to complain, because they're actually doing something to make the place look better. So that's good. And we have a shitter out here. What would a construction zone be without a shitter? Well, isn't that cool? Aren't I just thrilled now? I'm actually glad that they are being proactive and doing something. And another street up ahead all dug up, and digging up this whole area. It's got to be federal money. Might as well spend it now before Papa Trump takes it away, which I would not blame him for doing at this point. Youth programs here. Probably got people here indoctrinating kids with that. It looks like that freaking DEI rainbow stuff came off the doors finally. I think people are starting to get it. They don't want to lose their money. Pretty sad. They'd rather listen to not losing money as opposed to just having common sense. So, looks like, there we go. A couple of smudges on the lens. I hope that wasn't on there for the whole walk. It didn't look like it. So, hopefully Didn't do too much to mess up the picture. So this is where I went to school, partially. And like I was telling you, 2014 they built that whole new front on there. But this was one of these schools they built in the 30s during Reconstruction to help come out of the Depression, to create jobs paid for by the government. Shovel-ready jobs, those are called. So we'll walk up this way. We're halfway through our walk. We're halfway through. A little over 2.5 miles. So we're going to cut down here across Bates College, where Bryant Gumbel went to school, David Hasselhoff, among other people. Senator Mitchell. I believe Governor Brennan went here as well.
As I mentioned,
Bates College store. You need to come by stuff like sweatshirts, t-shirts, notebooks, pens, pencils, notepads, iPads, probably got all kinds of stuff in here, mugs, jackets, merch, man. Gotta push the merch. You gotta move the merch. Right now, it looks like the kids must be on spring break, because there's not many cars here. They haven't graduated yet, so must be spring break. There's usually tons of cars on this street. A lot of them parked illegally. Move the merch, man, move the merch. CHU Hall, Chew Hall. Chew Hall, chew. Chew, baby, chew. I want to try to get a cool picture for my thumbnail. I've got to get my thumbnail photo for the upload. So we're going to have this in the background. Turn it around like this. So we'll do kind of like an upshot. Peace. Well, that'll be my thumbnail shot for the video. Might be fun. I'm gonna fix my handle. So I hope you're having a nice weekend. It's a good place to cross. part of the walk might be a little dark. And a young man across the street in his pajama mambas. Walking and talking on a cell phone. Alright, I've stopped sweating any more than I was, so that's good. But I am hot and I am sweating. It's just not getting worse. Now, I enjoyed doing a radio show around here for a long time. So I've always had a special fondness for this campus. So I do like how stable this is doing the selfie stream at night, as far as, you know, the camera jerking around everywhere. It's actually not bad. So I get more of myself on here with selfie view at nighttime. Though sometimes in the daytime I really get to talking, and this summer we'll be doing 7, 8, 9 miles. I'm not going to record all of those. I'm going to edit segments, which will probably make a lot of people happy. Because who's going to sit there for 3 hours, right? So this is the church on the Bates College campus, which is a nice church. You've seen this with me in the daytime. We've also gone up Mount Davis, up ahead a ways, looked over the city into Sabatis, Green, Auburn, out that a ways. So basically I just like recording these and expressing what's going on in my mind. A lot of people are not satisfied. They want to see arrests, okay, by Pam Bondi and Kash Patel. Talked about this on the last walk. Saw more of it today. More frustration from liberals, not liberals, but from conservatives, Republicans, moderates, independents. Where are the arrests? Pam Bondi is a joke. Kash Patel looks like he's selling us out. He's part of the problem. And it's been 3.5 months. They just took over agencies that were corrupt. So they got to fix the agencies. None of these agencies did any investigation on these people we want investigated. You can't just go arrest people. So I don't know what people are expecting. It's like they just don't know how this works or something. What about the Epstein list? We know there's clients on it. Why aren't they arresting them? Well, just because somebody went to Epstein Island doesn't mean he was diddling children, does it? You have to prove that beyond a reasonable doubt. So you got criminal cases, you have to prove your case in court. And if you can't, they'll get off. So these same people wanting to hurry up and make these arrests are going to want people's blood when they fail and they get off. So in other words, there's no way to make these people happy at all. So we just need to be patient. It's going to happen. Sorry it's not happening fast enough for you, but it's been 3.5 months. January 20th, okay? Then these people get appointed. They didn't get appointed on January 20th, did they? No. Took a while for them to be appointed. So while they're sitting there with their temporary replacement appointed until they get confirmed, the agencies were doing funny business. You remember they pulled a fast one on the Epstein thing to make Pam Bondi look bad, and it did. So these people are still in the government poisoning the well. So all I'm saying is, just for the love of God, will you please just give them some slack? Get angry a year from now, okay? Not now. It's not helping anyone. It's actually causing problems. We just won an absolutely fantastic election. All of President Trump's nominees were confirmed, except for one who pulled his own nomination due to controversy. I don't even remember what his name was. So kind of a lower level, you know. So we got everything we wanted, and people are still upset about it. It's like, are you kidding me, guys? What the hell is your problem? Chill out. Enjoy it. We just arrested a freaking federal judge because she broke the law, thought she was above the law. And I told you, Pam Bondi is not going to arrest people unless she can get a conviction. She's not going to waste taxpayer money chasing ghosts like Biden did. So I'm going to scoot across here real quick. Hopefully I won't get killed. Head on up that way. So anyway, what I was saying is, just freaking stop it, guys. Just stop it. Stop being idiots. And I hate to use that terminology, but what else do you call it? You act like there was folders of evidence and case histories piled up on Pam's desk ready to go with arrests and indictments. It just doesn't work that way. So I'm telling you, it's going to happen, and when they happen, it's going to happen quick. There's going to be a whole string of them. It's going to be one of the biggest news cycles in our history. But we can't rush it. It has to be done right. Yes, we've waited 10 years to drain the swamp, okay? I get it. But what's 10 more months after waiting 10 years? So don't be that guy or gal, okay? Don't be that person. Somebody else beeping their horn. They can see I'm recording. They think I'm live streaming. If they knew I was recording it to be uploaded later, they wouldn't do a beep at all. Which tells me that I should start live streaming, but I've explained why I don't want to do that. I wouldn't have to upload it. That would be good. But when I say something I shouldn't, I wouldn't be able to edit that out either. And unfortunately, I've had to say that 3 or 4 times, or maybe more than that. Ooh. Oh yeah. So I think I pert near, you like that? Pert near? I think I pert near overdosed on some apple pie. Friggin' apple pie was delicious. I got 1 piece left and it's not gonna make it till tomorrow. So I'm sure it's not a world record to eat almost an entire apple pie in 2 days, but considering I don't eat junk food, an apple pie from a deli is not really junk food. It's just apple pie. It's got some sugar in it, but so does the coffee I drink. Trying to make the camera not wobble around because I noticed it makes noise on the playback. Somebody throttled through the red light. So I listened to a good album today that I had bought years ago. Listened to it a few times, but it had been a while since I played it. And that would be Ken Hensley of Uriah Heep solo project. Solo album from 1973 called Proud Words on a Dusty Shelf. Fantastic album. So that's Ken Hensley, Proud Words on a Dusty Shelf. If you want to YouTube that and listen to it. Unless you have the vinyl record, play that instead, like I do. The other thing I noticed today was I dug out a Bruce Springsteen album. Yeah, that same Bruce Springsteen who was a liberal a-hole. But that album, Born to Run, from the mid-70s, it's a 1975 album. I hadn't realized that. I looked that up today. I always thought it was like early 80s. So they were like way ahead of their time as far as the sound goes. So that song, Born to Run, is like 1975. And to me, it doesn't really sound like the other music from the same time period, which would be like Steely Dan and Supertramp and all that stuff. I mean, maybe, but not really. So, anyway, really good listen. I really enjoyed it. And but anyway, the Bruce Springsteen album, I thought it was okay too. I just can't help but think of the a-holes politics, you know. That's why I wish these guys would just shut up and play music, you know. Yeah, I get it. They have opinions. They want to talk about politics too. But if a good part of your customer base is going to be pissed off because you said something about them personally, like he did, then that's not smart. I don't know why they can't say something, you know, like, no, I'm not going to vote for Trump, this is why. And, you know, I can understand why some people would, but I'm not going to. People are free to do what they want. No, they don't know how to do that. I could respect that, couldn't you? No, they have to say, well, Trump voters are morons. They're too stupid to comprehend that Trump is this and he's, you know, they have to talk like that. Condescending, talking down to people. Who the hell wants to buy his albums now, you know? And it's really funny because the album I listened to today, when I bought it, I think I paid maybe $2, $3 for it 10 years ago. That same album today in the condition I have, which is not mint, it's kind of like VG Plus. It's like really good condition, but not perfect. $50 to $60. $50 to $60 for a used album. That's a common. In mint condition, it's $150 to $250. Couldn't believe it. But I cross-referenced the inner matrix manufacturing code from the inside. You know, the inside of the dead wax is called, on the inside of the label on a vinyl record. You get all those numbers and letters. They all mean something. You can look those up nowadays with the internet. It tells you what record plant it was made at, whether it's a first pressing. So anyway, that friggin' album, Born to Run, by Bruce Springsteen, original pressing, and very good plus, not mint, but very good plus, which basically means there's no noise when you listen to it, but there's hairlines maybe visually when you look at it. But it plays fine, sounds fine. So, couldn't believe it. I've been seeing that a lot lately. A couple of ZZ Top albums I have. I think I paid $4, maybe $5 for them. A couple of them I bought in a dollar room at a used vinyl place. Are worth $60, $80, $90. Supply and demand. The supply has dried up for used albums. So what is available costs more. That Born to Run album, there was only 8 copies for sale on a website where sometimes you'll see 400. So the supply is drying up big time. And as I've told you on past walks, the market says, and they only do ahead a certain amount of time for manufacturers, is they expect vinyl record sales for new albums to keep trending upwards till at least 2033, which would put it at about 20 to 21% of all the music sold and paid for. Right now it's around 10. They've sold more vinyl records last year since the year 1987, when they started phasing things out for CDs. So, the other thing I've noticed, unfortunately, is the price of vinyl has gone up, vinyl records. And it's not because of Trump. A couple, 3 years ago, 2020 actually, when COVID was going on, a brand new vinyl album, single album, just your regular, you know, like an Eagles reissue, brand new at Walmart, 1998, $20. Now that same album's $30, $31. Double albums are now $45 to $50. And they were 30 to 35. So there's been a pretty big increase. But like I've said on a previous walk, I think as the price of oil goes down and we start seeing cheaper oil, the vinyl used is made from oil. And the other thing is, a lot of the vinyl we've been using is imported from China, these vinyl pellets. So if we have this tariff thing going on with China still, that's going to cause vinyl record prices to go up some more, and we may see some pretty high prices. But what Trump was trying to do, and I think he'll succeed, is that while we do that, we're going to increase production here. We have the technology to make vinyl, okay? Vinyl pellets. So plus we can get vinyl pellets from other countries that we have better trade relations with. So, you know, there's going to be a period of adjustment, things like that. But at some point in the near future, stuff that has already been imported for sale will be sold, and then all the new stuff coming in behind it will be higher prices. So there's been a lot of new consumer spending lately, with people anticipating that tariffs are going to be kicking in, prices will start going up, and nobody's really sure how much they're going to go up. The media is making it sound really bad, but the people in the White House say, well, it's going to be 10%, so approximately. So your $4 and $5 t-shirt made in China at Walmart is going to go up the most because the tariffs on China are the highest. So pretty much all other goods, 10% across the board pretty much. A lot of Democrats support that also. There's a lot of bipartisanship in that. They just won't openly say it because Trump, fucking Trump. So, isn't that funny? That's what these guys do. They talk normal like we are now, and then as soon as you say fucking Trump, they lose their crap. Trump derangement syndrome. So the media inflates all of this stuff. The media inflates inflation more than actual government spending and inflation increases. If you see the humor in that, I'm glad. So we're gonna head down this way and we'll walk down this little stretch for a little while. I'll keep walking past it. I'm gonna flip the camera around. Don't see him.
Oh, here she is.
Yep. Somebody lost a dog. I'm looking for that dog. Is my dog out there? I don't think so. It would be barking at me, more than likely. Usually what they do. There's only been one, maybe two dogs on my walks that didn't bark. For whatever reason. So anyway, we're going to have some things will go up more than others. You know, a cheap fan, let's say you want to buy a fan, you know, prices of those might go up. $30 fan might go up to $55 if it's made in China. But something else in China might be not as that much of an increase. I know Trump has left the increase off certain electronic devices, computer products, which would be iPhones, things like that. So we'll have to go through all of this like everybody else and hope Scott Bessant knows what he's doing. A very smart guy. One of the smartest that Trump has in the White House with this. He knows more about this stuff than Trump does and most other people. So he's legitimately a nice man, well-mannered, good person. He's done a lot of charity work, especially with kids. And he wants to see America succeed. So this is also the first real government job that he was given a chance. You know, he said he tried to join the military and they wouldn't let him join because of his sexual affiliation. He's gay. So, you know, tell me again how President Trump is bigoted and racist when he employs women, gays, and other things. So, a perfect example is Harmeet Dillon, civil rights lawyer who Trump appointed in DOJ in their civil rights division to maintain civil rights for people, but to get rid of that awful DEI crap. And Harmeet Dillon is the same woman who represented her religion at the Republican National Convention not long after Trump's assassination attempt, who sang that song. A lot of conservatives felt uneasy, like, what the hell is this? That's her religion. We're a party of unity. We are a unity party. None of this friggin', if you're not white and you're not Christian, you don't belong crap. We welcome everybody. We have Muslims in the Republican Party because they're not radical lunatics. We have Christians, Jews, atheists, black, white, gay, straight, trans, not trans. We need to replace what the Democratic Party was doing, okay? We need to be the ones that are actually inclusive. Not like, you're only inclusive if you agree with us, and if you don't, we hate you, like the Democrats do, which is why they're siphoning off voters. Some of them are becoming Republicans. Some of them are just being non-affiliated, but we can win those over, you know? Because we have better policies. So we need to be the party of inclusiveness. And I'm all for that. I don't hate anybody. I hate ideologies. I hate far left extremism. I hate socialists. I hate communists. We need to get them out of our country. Good workout tonight. We'll be wrapping this up the next mile. Whew. And we got the walk in without getting soaked. Can't see that, but my face is all sweaty. My eyebrows are all wet. first time this year we really get wet like this. So, and it's nighttime, threatening rain. It's just humid. The humidity is up. It's like a hazy fog. You guys down south know what that's like. It's like that most of the year. There's a lot of times in the summertime it's a lot worse. And right now I'm complaining about nothing compared to what you guys. So I just hit 4.5 miles, according to a lady mile keeper in my ear on my app, on my Bluetooth. Well, that's good. I'm glad I got the walk in, because I gotta tell you, I ate all that damn apple pie. Whew. I don't want to turn into a fat bastard again. I don't think I wasn't obese. I had extra weight that I did not like. So I did lose about 40 pounds total. And like I said, I'm over 6 feet, tall guy. So 40 pounds is probably more like 20 on someone else as far as appearance. My face isn't as round as it was. Which really, the side effect of that is that my skin is looser because I'm old, especially down here. But, you know, I'm 57 and my skin's looser. But the extra weight I had kept my skin tighter, so I actually looked younger, I think. So, but hey, you know, I'd rather have the weight off. Headlights! Letting him know his headlights were off. As being a busybody. So I saw a film clip today of a guy who was on the subway car. Tired, he fell asleep while he was sitting there. Some black guy came up to him that was getting on the subway, said something to him about sitting over there or something. Then as soon as he said it, he punched the guy in the face twice. The black guy punched the white guy because he was white. And that guy, who had just been woken up with a punch in the face, grabbed his face while he was leaking, you know, he was bleeding. And that's what they did to him. So I thought that was pretty wild. So we're gonna head on down this way. So anyway, I don't know why that guy did that. For no reason. Other than he was a white guy, bald white guy that was sleeping on the subway. And far left extremism has emboldened the minorities to be victims. We are victims. It's okay to punch a guy in a red hat that says "Make America Great Again" on it. It's okay to assault white people. It's not me saying that. I'm saying that's what the mentality is. That's what they've been told by the media, these people on TV, social media, these .org groups where it's justice, it's social justice. You have a right to be angry and to retaliate. So that's what's stoking this, and people have gotten hurt, and that's not going to happen to me. It's not. I'm not going to turn my back on any of these people for 2 damn seconds. Keep your head on a swivel, pay attention to what's going on. It's called situational awareness. When you're standing there pumping your gas, put your back against your car. Don't stand there facing the hole you get the nozzle in. Because a lot of times when you get carjacked or robbed, 2, sometimes 3 people will come at you from all 3 different directions. If you have your back against the car, you can see that play developing ahead of time. Then you can just leave your car and walk inside the store. Because they're not going to hurry up and jump you. Because they'll be on camera and all this other stuff. So nobody's going to take your car if it's sitting there and you get your keys. It's okay to leave the pump in it. It's either going to stop on its own, or as soon as you take your hand off, it'll stop. That's fine. Don't stop and then take it out and hang it. I mean, if you feel like something's going on, just get inside. One time, told this story before, 1 o'clock in the morning, when gas stations were open overnight, I stopped at a gas station in Auburn, Maine here to gas up. In this car with 4 black people in it. Now, I'm not saying it because they're black, okay, but they were black. So I stopped to pump gas. I swiped my card, and one of them got out of the car when I started to do that, and then the other 2 got out and they were going to circle around behind me. Well, it doesn't take much to understand that something's about to happen. So I wasn't carrying at the time. This was a good 10 years ago. So, but because I was paying attention, I read the play, and that's the point I'm making. So I stopped what I was doing, and I quickly walked past before he could cut me off. I went inside. Somebody else that had been at the pump was also harassed by them and had called the police because they felt unsafe. So I had the correct vibe, and what this guy was saying to me while I was walking by him to take his advantage away was they were from Portland. He needed $5 for gas so he could get home. Well, for one thing, what are you doing in Auburn, Maine with 4 people in the car? Nobody's got money for gas. Whole bunch of red flags, right? Something's not right. I did the right thing, so they took off. Called the police and they left before the police got there. So that's the point I'm making. You always got to pay attention. Now, if I hadn't been paying attention, who knows what would have happened? Maybe nothing. Maybe they legitimately just needed $5 for gas, and they're just incompetent, stupid people. I don't know, but I didn't wait around to find out, and they left. So they must have felt like they were doing something wrong, because why else would they leave, right? Nothing like that has happened since. So, but just put your back against your car, and you have your pump down on your right or on your left, and just lean against the back of your car, looking around over your shoulder, left and right. And it sucks you have to live that way, but unfortunately you have to live that way. That's why gas stations, thankfully, are lit very well at night. So a lot of times when things like that happen, they'll happen during the day, during the daytime. As the lady in my ear just said I hit 5 miles. So we'll be walking a little more, and I'll cut this off. And I still have a ways to go after that, which I don't film the entire distance because I need to keep the location of the Bat Cave secret. So some crazy lefty on here doesn't figure out where I live. I don't care about general area. I guess what I'm saying is my concern isn't somebody pulling over right now starting something with me. My concern is getting robbed or worse at home. I can take care of myself. Anyway, whew, I am soaked with sweat. It's always much better walking when you get a good sweat going. Your muscles move better. Everything's a little in rhythm, in step. I have my phone in my pouch in front. I got my flashlight in my front pouch, and I also have my carry underneath there, so my tummy is not as flat when I walk. But that's okay. I got everything I need. Boy, those frogs are going crazy. Peepers, they're called peepers. Jeepers, peepers. The jeepers creepers. Don't you like those peepers? Don't you like those eyes? One night we were walking in the rain right about here, and there was this big frog on the sidewalk, and I stopped and took pictures. Let me go right up to him with my macro lens. I took good close-ups. All right. A bit up ahead here. Sign off. Not quite yet. We'll sign off outside of the weed store. The weed store. Go to your local weed mart. Alrighty. Not much traffic tonight. That's always nice. Across the street here. All right. All right, ladies and gents. Here we are outside of the weed store. Starting to get a little bit of mist. I think I made it just right. Timed my walk. I got a little ways to go, but I'm going to sign off now. I want to thank you very much for walking with me. Which is what it says at the end of my walks. Thank you for walking. My little play on thank you for watching. So we'll see you on the next walk, friends. Peace out. God bless. Say a prayer for President Trump and the country. And pray for an end to the Ukraine war so Trump can take all the credit and it'll be glorious. So anyway, God bless you. See you on the next walk. Stay dry, my friends. Bye-bye.